Hey everyone, welcome to Calvary Kids Live. My name is James, and I get to be spending some time with you today, having some fun. We're going to be playing some games, having some songs. We're going to sing a song together, and then we're going to dive into the Word, and we're going to read a story from the Bible, and we're going to help it make sense to us today, along with our crazy friend Carl, like always. And so we're going to be having some fun here at Calvary Kids Live. So if you've missed any of the things that we've been doing, you can always go back and check them out. We've been talking in the Bible. We've been talking about the resurrection of Jesus, and now we've been talking about what's been happening after Jesus was raised from the dead. And he has some interactions with people, and we're going to be talking about that a little later. But before we go any further, we need to play a game, because that is the best way to get everyone excited, to get me pumped up for the things that we're going to be doing today. And we're going to be playing a cool game called... It's called Freeze It. So here's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to go grab a phone. So I have a phone here, and basically you need a phone because you're going to need the camera on the phone. So you're going to need to, see me through the camera, but there's going to be something coming up on the screen, and you're going to have to take a picture when it fits perfectly in. So like the first one, we're going to see a tennis ball. It's going to be flying and hitting someone in the forehead, and you're going to have to take a picture right exactly where it hits them on the forehead. And so you need to go grab a camera. You can pause this video, go grab another camera. You might be watching on a phone, and you'll need another phone to make it happen. Or if you don't have a phone and you can't find one, you can always just pause this video. Try to pause the video right when it's happening, and that'll probably work just as well. So let's get it started. We are in round one. So like I mentioned, it's a tennis ball, I believe. So I'm going to try to take a good photo so I can show you guys that I'm doing it correctly. Ooh. This one's an easy one. We're starting pretty easy. I just did it twice in a row. Look at that, twice in a row. I got it perfectly. So that's what we're doing. You can pause the video. You can pause it. I'll make a weird face. So if you can pause it or take a photo, try to get it perfectly. It's gonna get harder, guys. We're not going easy. We're not going easy. All right, that's the first one. Ooh, round two. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. There's some of these I haven't even been able to get yet. It is ridiculous. We got a llama little mustache, or little bow tie, actually. Oh, this one's hard because it moves around. You gotta catch it. Did I do it? Look at that. I did it. You have to get it perfectly. So you have to make sure right when it goes down to the left, it's going to go left and then in the bow tie. That was a difficult one, and unfortunately, it's only getting harder from here. Okay, let's do this next one. Ooh. I like this. This is a good beat. This one's hard. This one looks easier. I thought it was easier. I was giving it a hard time. Oh my god, I did get it. I think my strategy was just to take a bunch of photos and hoping that I at least get one of them in. Because if you just spam it, hit a bunch of photos, odds are you gotta get one of them, right? Isn't that how it works? I ended up getting one of them. I had a couple other misses that weren't, they're a little embarrassing. But, hey, that was a hard one. But we're gonna do one more round. One more round, guys. And unfortunately, this one is just as hard as the previous one. Because it's different every time. The football looks different. It rolls around differently. It fits differently. I don't know. This is a hard one. You gotta good luck with this. I'm trying to... Did I do it on my first try? No, not even close. Not even close. How about that time? Did I do it? Still, that's better, but it's not it. Okay, you guys, looks like we got 5 seconds left. Did I get any of them? Oh, I had one, it's so close, but it's still technically a miss. I wasn't able to get that last one. If you were able to do it, congratulations. Come back to this video later, challenge a sibling, challenge your mom and dad, challenge your dog, your cat, whoever wants to participate. They probably need opposable thumbs. But hey, we are going to be moving on to our next game, and we're going to be playing, what's this next game called? I don't even know. Let's see what it is. Got some water going on. Do we need to dunk ourselves with water? Maybe this is just a sign that I need to shower. Oh, it's Will of Flow. Okay. So we're going to be playing a game called Will of Flow. You're going to be seeing some objects on the screen, and it's just going to keep rolling. And so we're going to see, okay, a can of soda. Will a can of soda flow? Question is it full of soda or empty? Because it says a can of soda, I'm going to assume that that full can is an unopened. What is this? Oh, it just says soda. The brand on it is soda. All right. Will it float? Will it float? It sinks. If you thought it was going to float, You were wrong. Give yourself a point if you thought it was going to sink. We're going to move into this next one. What's the next object? A banana. A banana, banana, banana. All right, guys. This is a great opportunity to talk about density and to be able to talk about some physics, but I'm not Bill Nye the Science Guy, so we're just going to keep moving it on. All right, so will it float? A banana. I'm feeling pretty good about bananas. Bananas got to float, right? Yeah. I think by rule of thumb, I think most fruit floats. Do not quote me on that. I'm just quickly thinking through all these different fruits. I'm trying to think of a fruit that doesn't float, and I can't come up with one. Pineapples even float. I think watermelon. Ooh. Does watermelon float? We're moving on. We don't got time. We don't got time, James. We don't have time. Focus. Focus. Golf balls. Golf balls. You know, I used to go to this driving range. I was on this lake, and they would float. But I don't know if those are normal golf balls, guys. They were not, because if you watch, anytime someone plays golf, if they hit it into the water, it goes away. It sinks. It's gone forever. It is gone forever. What's this next object? What do we got? A potato? Do potatoes float? Potatoes aren't fruit, so if that's what you're thinking, let me stop you right there. You need to back it up, my good sir, or my good lady. Those are not the same thing. Potato flew around until you can't. Potatoes sink. I didn't know that. I have never tested. I do wash potatoes before I slice them and turn them into fries or mashed potatoes. First of all, let's take a moment to talk about how they are the most versatile food that we do everything with potatoes, and it's great. Moving on. All right, the next thing we got going on. What is this? This beat is good, guys. Some toilet paper. You put toilet paper in water, it's just gonna get all mushy and gross. Why would anyone want to see if it floats? Do not see if it floats. We all should know what happens when you put toilet paper in water. And unfortunately it floats, but it gets all mushy, right? Am I right? Okay, yes, I am right. Yeah, that's kind of gross. Toilet paper and water is the grossest thing ever. Why, of all the objects they could have done, that was gross. Okay, we're gonna sing a song and worship now, and so I'm going to get up. I dance. This is how I get the energy. This is how I love it. And we sing all these songs. If you haven't heard these songs before, they are super catchy. They're really easy to get the hang of, and they're a ton of fun. And I know every week these songs get stuck in my head, and I love singing them for the rest of the week. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna sing the song. I'm gonna be standing up dancing. So I expect you to look just as sweaty as I do when we come back. All right, let's have some fun. Let's worship together.
Picture these words, that's a Snapchat. Boomerang with the praise in the right back. Man, we higher than the sky, no turn back. If it be our last night, leave it all here. No fear, be clear, this is your year. Let go of anything that isn't God's steer. Visine with a dream, and it's so clear. Yeah, so clear. And you know wherever you go, I'ma stick close, they gon' think we a duo. Bond so tight, hug it out like a sumo. And I never think twice, you the boss of my life, no, you go. And this world not down with us. They can try to limit faith, but it's down to us. Man, love so deep, not a game to us. When the blessing comes down, man, the praise go up, yeah.
Higher than the sky, your love me is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own. Your own. Higher than the sky, your love me is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own. Your own. We are your own.
I love that song because it's talking about God calling you his own. And what that really means is that God is like choosing to be with us. God, everything that the Bible points God to is towards us and into relationship with us, and God wants to be with you. And so that is, there's so much hope in that song and so much joy, and it helps that it has a great beat, and I love it. So we're going to get into today's story for the day. And if you've been here with us for a little bit, we've been talking about, well, as we led up to Easter, right, the last couple of days before Jesus' life, and then after the resurrection, after Jesus came back to life, we're kind of now talking about some of these stories that Jesus had and some of the things that he said and did before, and like his last couple minutes here on earth forever. And so he's spending some time with people, but he kind of surprises the disciples here. So we're going to get into today's story, and then my friend Crazy Carl is going to help to explain some of this as well. And so we're getting into it. It says the disciples leave Jerusalem and they go back to Galilee one evening. They go fishing. They fish all night, but don't catch anything. At daybreak, they see someone standing on the shore. Cast your net on the right side of the boat. John looks up on the man on the shore. It's the Lord, he says. Peter is so eager to reach Jesus that he leaps into the water and swims ashore. The others bring the boat in. Peter helps drag the net to shore, and Jesus is waiting, cooking some bread and fish. Waiting for them with some bread and fish cooking over a fire of burning coals. Come have breakfast, Jesus says. After breakfast, Jesus talks to Peter privately. He says, Peter, do you love me? He goes, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And then he says, 2 more times Jesus asked Peter the same question. Each time Peter declares his loyalty. Then Jesus gives Peter a job to do. Peter, feed my sheep, take care of my followers. So we see this interaction where Peter is so excited to see Jesus, and Peter is actually someone that denied Jesus earlier. And so he claimed that he didn't know Jesus. When Jesus was going through some of his toughest time, he's like, no, I don't know who he is. I've never heard of him. I'm not with this man. And people were like, look, they're from like the same area. He has to know who Jesus is. And he's like, hey, I don't know. Leave me alone. I don't know who this guy is. And so Peter went through this time of kind of denying who Jesus is. And so kind of like the poetic justice of it, right? Like kind of this poetic thing where Jesus then repeatedly asked Peter, do you love me? And Peter's probably feeling the need to prove himself a little bit. He says, yes, Lord, I do love you. And he says, hey, take care of my sheep and feed my sheep, take care of my followers. And what he's referring to there, he's going to use Peter to start the church. What we know as churches that are now everywhere, Peter played an integral role in kind of starting that up. And so let's bring back our friend Crazy Carl and Vanessa, and let's hear a little bit more about this story.
And I'm Vanessa.
Welcome to Bro TV.
Welcome!
Don't forget, you got to dance every time the song comes on.
Hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Bro TV!
Carl,
Wake
are you
up.
going to start?
We're all here.
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, kids. Today we're gonna... count our fingers.
Count our fingers.
Yeah.
Don't you
I get
think
stuck
we might
after
want to
2.
play a game?
Okay, we can play a game. We can play who can count their fingers the slowest. 1.
I already said I got to 2. Did I just
All right,
win?
Carl. That's it. Head up.
I don't wanna.
Come on. Get up. Come on. Get up.
Get up, Carl. Right
that
now,
hurt?
mister.
No. Okay, yes.
Come on, Carl. These kids want to know what's wrong.
No, they don't. No one
I
does.
wanna know
After
what's
what I did? No way.
Wait, what did you do?
Something horrible. Just awful.
Listen, no matter what you did, you can always tell me. Come on, we're friends, Carl.
I don't know. You promise you won't tell no one?
I promise.
Okay. Well, my good friend Andy invited me to go camping with him last week, and he really wanted me there.
That sounds fun. Kind of like what we're doing now.
It was gonna be super fun, but when it came to the day, I decided to change my mind and not go.
Why did you not want to go?
I guess I just felt like staying home and playing video games.
Oh, I get that. It's not a big deal. At least you told him you didn't feel like going. You did tell him you weren't going anymore. Oh, Carl.
I told Andy I hate camping.
But you love camping.
I know, it's a terrible thing to do. I feel awful. No, he'll never forgive me. I also lied, and that's a sin. Now God is upset with me.
Well, Carl, I think you'd be surprised.
Surprised at how mad they are? Oh, great.
No. Well, just like Peter was surprised, I'm sure that you would be too.
Peter? Peter, the teacher at the high school that smells like a pineapple?
No, Peter in the Bible. The disciple?
Oh, yeah. What about him?
Well, you remember last week's story, right?
Sure. We talked about how Jesus overcame death. He died for our sins, and then 3 days later, he rose back up to life.
Yep, but you do remember what happened before that story, right?
I can't.
Well, after Jesus was arrested, all the disciples scattered because they were scared of being arrested for being a follower of Jesus. One time, there were people coming up to Peter accusing him of knowing Jesus, but each time he was asked, he said he didn't know Jesus.
What? He's lying. He knows Jesus. He was a disciple, for crying out loud. He was Jesus' friend.
I know he lied 3 times and denied Jesus by doing it. He really did something really bad.
Oh, I know what that feels like.
So after Jesus had died, Peter returned to fishing.
Oh, he went back to his old job. He must have been down in the dumps, huh?
Probably.
I mean, he spends years with Jesus and begins to truly depend on him. And bam! Ruins his relationship with his friend and his teacher by turning his back on him not once, not twice, but thrice.
Yeah, it certainly had an effect on him. So while they were fishing, a man walked out on the shore and realized they were not catching anything. He called out to them and told them to cast their net on the other side of the boat. They listened and then bam! They caught so much fish that they couldn't even pull the net up.
That was their lucky day. Thank goodness that guy helped him out. That sounds exactly like something Jesus would do. Wait, you're telling me that was Jesus?
Of course, it wasn't just some random guy, it was Jesus.
What? He was raised from the dead, then he decided to go help out the disciples? How awesome! Did they recognize him?
They did. They were so happy to see him. But Peter was so ready to see him, he couldn't wait. He took off his cloak and jumped in the water and got to Jesus as fast as he could.
But I bet Jesus wasn't as happy to see Peter after the whole I don't know Jesus thing.
That's what you think. But nope. Jesus sat down and talked to Peter, and it was a surprising talk.
Surprising how?
Well, after they got done eating, Jesus asked Peter a question 3 times. Jesus asked if Peter loved him, and 3 times Peter said yes.
Then what did Jesus say?
He told Peter to feed his sheep.
I wasn't aware Jesus was an owner of sheep. When did he get into sheep farming?
No, Jesus meant for if Peter loved him, that he should take care of all of God's children and do what Jesus had taught him to do.
Huh, that makes a whole lot more sense than Jesus owning livestock. But what doesn't make sense is how Jesus forgave Peter after all he did.
No, it doesn't make sense, but that's what's amazing about Jesus. He does things that go against what we think is normal. His love and forgiveness goes beyond anything we could ever understand.
That is awesome and super refreshing to hear.
Why do you say that?
Well, if Jesus can forgive Peter for all he did, then I'm pretty sure Jesus can forgive me for what I did by kind of lying and not going on Andy's camping trip.
I think you're right, Carl, and I think Andy will understand if you explain what happened. Jesus shared with Peter that he loved him and had big plans for him despite his mistakes.
Wow! Not only does he offer love and forgiveness, but Jesus gives encouragement.
Carl, that's our big idea!
Yes! Today's big idea is Jesus gives encouragement.
So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1,
2, 3.
Jesus gives encouragement!
Yeah! Way to go, everyone! Woo!
So are you gonna be okay, Carl?
Yeah, I think so.
Carl, I thought you said you hated camping.
Andy, I don't, but I really kind of just wanted to stay home last week.
So you lied to me?
Yes.
It's okay, I forgive you.
I'm sorry, Andy.
I'm sorry. Don't cry. I'm gonna cry if you cry.
If you cry, then I'm going to start crying.
I'm already crying.
I don't know. I'm so sorry, Andy.
Guys, let's try to keep it together.
Andy!
I'm so glad we're friends.
All right, kids. I'll see you next week.
I'm terrible. I'm a bad friend.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Road TV.
All right, so who remembers what the big idea was for the week? Do you remember? They said it, and we all said it together. Let's say it together one more time. 1, 2, 3. Jesus gives encouragement. That is what it's all about, is that Jesus throughout his whole life had been encouraging people. And one of the greatest things that we talked about a little bit before is Jesus chose these people that didn't probably deserve to follow him. They didn't deserve to kind of help lead this new way. And we see Peter, we might not think that he even deserved to be the leader of the church, right? But Jesus was encouraging people throughout, and he entrusted us to be a part of what he is doing. So God is moving, the Spirit is moving and working, and things are happening in lots of people's lives all over the world, and Jesus is calling you and me to come be a part of that, and he's encouraging us to participate in that. So that is our big idea for the week. Guys, it has been a pleasure to spend time with you. I always love getting to hang out, play some games, sing some worship songs, and dive into the story of the Bible with you to kind of learn how we can use this in our life. And so when we're feeling down, we're feeling like maybe we're not worthy, like we've done something bad, we can know that Jesus is encouraging us, and Jesus is on our side. He's on our team, and he's here for us. So that's all we have for you today for Calvary Kids Live. We love you. We miss you. We look forward to seeing you next week right here.